What were some I can't believe I'm getting paid for this moments at your job? Expos. They bought my department first class high speed train tickets to get there, paid all food, rooms, etc. and let us wander around and see all the technology and innovations every customer or supplier of ours waved us into their booth, gave us beer, food, and free swag. After the expo, there was a company party on the expo floor in our booth. Free food, booze, and seeing probably 90% of senior staff of our company completely hammered. Aside from that, as a recent grad who had previously only had temp and part-time jobs, I'm still amazed I have paid vacation, and a lot of it at that. I was a photojournalist, getting paid to sit on the sidelines of major sporting matches, at the sound desk, or in the pit of bands from AC/DC to top, meet all sorts of interesting people, and create a photo to help tell their story. I photographed John Cleese during a sound check. He went on a 20-minute rant about photographers. I had to ask him to stop as I was laughing so hard I couldn't take pictures. Met Jackie Stewart and heard him speak about his time as a Formula 1 driver. It was an amazing job and one I was very lucky to do for as long as I did. Some days I would think some people would pay to be able to do this. There were crap days too, sitting in the hot sun at a murder scene all day, watching police bag evidence sucks, as does attending car crashes in the middle of the night, in the rain. But I remember the good days better than the bad ones. In a past job, albeit a low paid one, I got to help raise a baby sea otter, and one day I had the task of combing and fluffing up her fur to keep her waterproof and help her float. I was literally being paid to groom an adorable baby otter. Worked retail and had to sticker hundreds of items of clothing with little black sale stickers. Just as I'm finishing up, I was told they changed their mind and wanted me to use red stickers instead. So I went back over every item with red stickers. It was also a public holiday in Australia, so I was paid 2.5x my average pay and spent 6 hours of my shift doing just that. My old job deliberately gave us downtime when work was slow and wouldn't give us more to do till like 3. So me and my co-workers downloaded Left 4 Dead and played co-op lol. But then the bosses were mad we had so much free time, like WTF, you're the ones who decided to make it like this. I used to make video content for social media to drive ticket sales for a major arts festival. I would go to the tech rehearsal for major operas, plays, ballet, etc. There would be the full cast and orchestra performing, as if they were playing to a full house, but it was just me and my camera. I could move around to get the right shot. I could go backstage and interview the performers and whoever else was in my brief to talk to. I got to tour around with an opera once. I have no background in this. I'm completely self-taught and had only done really pedestrian jobs before this. It was amazing. I never would have wanted to go to an opera or ballet before this came along. If you ever have the chance to see something like this, go. It's not as boring as you think it will be. This sounds amazing. How did you get that work? Like most things, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I went from being a travel agent to doing logistics for the festival because hiring cars and booking hotels was second nature to me. After that contract ran out, I did several small contracts as assistant to the technical director of several other events. Then I got a job doing admin for the PR agency that did the media for those festivals and events. The office was a room going spare in a video post-production facility. The people there were really cool and taught me about all their equipment. It became financially viable to create content ourselves rather than using other companies. I was given a budget to buy equipment and started doing video for the clients, and it went from there. I once worked as a graphic designer for a well-known website / Facebook page about movies / series / video games / music, and sometimes I had to do very poor photo edits, like pasting a famous actor's head on the body of a cartoon character to illustrate the fact that this character will have this famous actor's voice in this movie, or things like that. I was asked to do the shittiest edit possible to make the post funny. I work 8 hours a day. I actually work 20 minutes to a half hour of that. I read Reddit most of the day. Not at my job, but I was once in a documentary of the miners' strike. I got paid to spend a weekend throwing fake rocks at fake cops, shouting at them. It was so much fun. I write smut for a living. Every now and then, I write a line or get an idea for a story that's so ridiculously over the top that I genuinely have to take a step away from my laptop for a second and question exactly how it is this became my life. My personal favorite is the very nice email I got from someone who wanted me to commission me to write a story about him being sounded by a Hot Wheels car. He wanted the first half of the story to be about the car stretching out his urethra as it went in great detail, and the second half to be about the damage the car's wing mirrors did to his pee hole as it came out. I politely declined. I also love my job, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to do anything else. It's just fucking odd sometimes. I lifeguarded for 3 years, so a lot. When it gets rainy and everyone leaves the pool, they normally keep us around just in case it clears up. We watch TV and raid the snack bar. We play in the pool sometimes, and blast music on the speakers. Having a party with a bunch of cute girl lifeguards while getting paid by the hour equals not a bad gig. I used to get paid to hack into companies' networks. For the longest time it was I can't believe I get to do this legally and get paid stupid amounts of money for it. Then it just started pissing me off when I realized all the company's network security suck. Many were hiring me for a compliance checkbox, and when I'd come back the following year they hadn't done anything. In some cases not even changed the damn passwords I used from the year prior. I now maintain a large list of companies I will never do business with using any type of credit card, because I'm 110% positive it will be compromised if it hasn't been already. A positive one. I get to teach kids how to play Dungeons and Dragons for 6 weeks every summer. Rolling into work dressed in an elf princess costume and getting to play a game for 7 hours a day, it feels unreal. I'm still incredulous every time that direct deposit hits. Also, as to how I got the job, it honestly just fell into my lap totally out of nowhere. Last year the teacher quit 2 months before camp started. One of the directors is my SO's dad, and I was living with them at the time. One director called the other to tell him the bad news and figure out what they were going to do. I was depressed on the couch because I'd been out of a job and having a hell of a time getting a new one. He came to me as they were on the phone talking about the situation, trying to find another teacher, and asked me if I wanted a job teaching D&D. I said yes, and now they keep telling me I'm one of the best teachers they've ever had and definitely the best D&D instructor. I'm hoping to be with the camp for many years to come like many of the other teachers. Oh hey, I can answer this one. I'm a dog trainer and we help dogs that are reactive to other dogs when on leash. That is, barking/lunge at dogs when on walks. And one of the ways we do this is to drag a stuffed dog around. Looks realistic at a distance. You even talk to the stuffed dog, pet it, and pretend to feed it. All of this is happening while another trainer feeds the real dog anytime they see the fake dog. I've legit been asked if I'm crazy before until people figure out we are training a dog. Edit. Wow. This is my most popular comment to date. For those wondering what this is, it is a form of behavior modification. To find trainers who do stuff like this, try searching for trainers, remote or in person, certified through the Academy for Dog Trainers. I'm certified through this organization and we get a very heavy dose of behavior modification for this stuff. Make sure the trainers are force-free and positive, and that they never punish a dog for reacting. The latter will never help, and will only make things worse. Mine are all pretty minor, but this is my favorite. Marketing has Macs. There's a recall on a battery for the MacBook one guy has. In theory, I could have mailed it straight to Apple, and they would mail it back, but instead I drove 30 minutes south to a computer store that would mail it for me. I ate Mexican food. I drove back, and then a week or so later, I drove down and picked it up. I did not eat Mexican because the call came in late Friday and I had already eaten. I got paid 2 hours plus mileage plus 1 lunch to deliver someone's MacBook to a store because they are too busy and important to do it themselves. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Client wanted to do a small tenant improvement to their existing office space and had existing PDF drawings of the office building, floor plans, cross sections etc. I quoted the client $2K for architectural permit plans, which would include redrawing the existing PDFs in AutoCAD and then drawing the proposed plans. Before I started the task of redrawing the PDFs, I had the idea. I Google searched PDF to DWG converter. To my surprise, there were many softwares that did this type of conversion. I managed to finish the entire project in about 5 hours.